Hey there, hikers. We're at a different spot in Grayson Highlands State Park. It's an expansive area, and this is a little spot we haven't been to before. This is actually a reconstruction of a homestead area, and there was an actual homestead here, but this cabin was used the logs from a different area and was reconstructed here. It's got the wood shingles. It has hemlock and poplar on the sides and some chestnut on the inside, and chestnut mantle. And it shows some of the various outbuildings too. We saw a place in below us here that looked like it might have been for a sorghum molasses. It's got a little press down there. We saw the spring house up to the left. There's various places here that could have been used as corn cribs or smokehouse or things like that. I'm not sure what is original, what was actually here when the place was used as a homestead, but I know this particular building in front of us here was not on this site originally. It was originally on a place called Mud Creek, and they brought it in. But it's very nice. It's kind of like anybody who's been to Cades Cove in the Smokies. They have a lot of buildings there with little placards that explain things, and this is very similar. It's just a slightly different environment. We're not as high as the Smokies. Although this is, I think, the highest valley area in Virginia. I know that when we left home yesterday, it was very humid and sticky and very warm. And as we came up to this area, it cooled down quite a bit. It was very pleasant sleeping last night. So just a little spot here, we thought we'd take you along with us. Hey there, hikers. We're back at Massey Gap, which was one of the main parking lots for any of the trails in Grayson Highlands State Park. And we decided to take a side trail. There's a waterfall out here that we've never been to. So we thought we might do this one first and then see how much energy we got to climb the hill later on. But we're gonna go out to Cabin Creek and look for the waterfall out there, and we'll bring you along with us. Psychedelic one.
Did you see these? Yep.
Okay, we took a little lunch break after the Falls Trail, Cabin Creek Falls, and we came back to Massey's Gap, and now we're on Rhododendron Trail. Now, when we get to the top of the hill, we're just going to see and decide which way to go once there, but this is the trail that goes up. Several trails connect at the top of the elevation, including the Appalachian Trail. So when we get up there, we'll make a decision. Hopefully we'll see the ponies up there. All right, we're climbing up from Massey's Gap, and if we pan over and look back to the south, that high point there is the large pinnacle that we were on yesterday. There's a smaller one, it just looks like a dip and a little bump there to the left. That was the small pinnacle. The large pinnacle is the one that we climbed up, had to scramble a bit, but you have 360-degree views up there, and it's a good view of Pine Mountain and Mount Rogers up there. We could even see White Mountain from that position, but it's awesome to look back and see where we were yesterday. Okay, we've just crossed the border between the Grayson Highlands State Park and the Mount Rogers National Recreation Area. The Appalachian Trail goes through both of them, and there's a gate here. We just see a couple of ponies. There's cattle that graze up here, and the reason they do that is they try to keep this area bald. Years and years and years ago, this was not a bald area, but it was timbered, and you got some pretty spectacular views from up here. So people decided they wanted to try to keep some of the vegetation down, so they put the ponies, and there's cattle grazing up here, and that helps to keep things from getting out of hand. All right, we're on the spine of Wilburn Ridge. It's a little rocky outcrop. It runs for a distance. The Appalachian Trail kind of zigzags through here. It's just a very short, maybe 50 yards off the AT that gets up here. You just have to climb up some rocks. But as you're looking back in this direction, that's the pinnacle we were on yesterday. If you look over here towards the west, that little open area there is where Dreama got pictures of the ponies. And back behind this other rocky outcrop is where a lot of the trails intersect right there, the horse trails and Rhododendron Trail, the one that we were on at the beginning when we left Massey Gap. And it looks like some clouds are rolling in. We're feeling sprinkles every now and then. We know from experience that the weather can change very quickly here. It can even feel cool this time of year in the middle of summer. So we'll stay up here a while, but we're gonna get back down to where we can scramble towards the van if we have to. Now, one of the reasons we came down at this time of year, we thought the blueberries would be ripe. I've told people before, there are bushes in this park that have blueberries that are 10 feet high. It's just amazing. These, obviously, that's full and everything, they're just not ripe yet. There's a few ripe ones, so we've been picking off a little bit at a time. But it's just amazing the number of blueberries down here, and also blackberries. Blackberries are very short here. The vines don't get very big, but there are little blackberries here that are extremely sweet. Not very big, but very sweet. Now, on this particular trip to Grayson Highlands, we are not backpacking. We took our packs with us while we were hiking, but we're using the campground. This is Hickory Ridge Campground, and we've been here before, but since we've been here last, which I think was about at least 6 years ago, they have expanded. They've got some newer tent sites here, just basic tent sites with no facilities. But if you look around, they've also added yurts, 4 yurts here, and they have a deck. We've heard from other people that they have a lot of chairs inside. So just a different experience there. You still have people that bring in their RVs or trailers, fifth wheels, things like that. I have to admit, I would not want to drive a fifth wheel on Route 58 coming up to Grayson Highlands, but if they're good enough to do it, more power to them. And we had a great time today, a little bit exhausting. Still working on our trail legs for this year, but we saw some things. We saw a few ponies, and we managed to see more ponies on the way in. We didn't get a chance to stop and take any pictures, but the ponies were hidden in the woods, and we saw them while we were driving along down to the campground. They have a wide range they can be at, and sometimes that's just the luck of the draw. But we're glad to be here, and we're glad that you came along with us.